Hello, and welcome to the 2020 Western Horn Festival online edition. My name is Jena Gardner, and I'm the horn professor at Western Illinois University. The next session on breathing will be presented by my friend and colleague, Texas State University horn professor, Dr. Caroline Steiger. In addition to teaching at Texas State, Dr. Steiger has held positions at SUNY Potsdam's Crane School of Music, Penn State University, and the University of Michigan. Her work as a musician has included performances with the San Antonio Symphony, Toledo Symphony Orchestra, and the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. She is currently the second horn in the Mid-Texas Symphony. Thank you, Caroline, for your presentation on breathing.
Hi, my name is Dr. Caroline Steiger. I teach horn at Texas State University, and I'm going to be walking you through some breathing exercises that I do every day, or try to do every day. These have been really helpful for me in my own playing. The breath is everything. We always go back to the air, and oftentimes the answer is use more air, and that is true in a lot of cases. So I find these to be incredibly helpful, and have found them to be really helpful for probably the last 10 years or so. So a couple of things that you're going to need. Obviously some space. We're going to do some stretching to get started, so you're going to need some space. If you have a breathing device like something like this, that can be really useful as well, and your mouthpiece and a metronome. So those are some things that you're going to need. I tend to do these breathing exercises every day before I even start playing. So I don't really think of these in relation to playing, although they do help my playing. But I try and do these before I even take the horn out of the case. Okay, so first things first, let's get some stretching going. So we're just going to take our hand and gently kind of stretch out our neck. Make sure you're breathing into this stretch as well. Okay, and the other side. And then also to the front. Okay, go ahead and take one arm and bend over slightly so you're really feeling the stretch here in your ribs. This is helping to open up those intercostal spaces. Don't forget to breathe. You can kind of turn to look up at the ceiling. Just be careful not to twist too much. And then the other side. Okay. There are a couple of other stretches that you can do, but I just like to feel nice and open, especially in the ribs, and make sure that my neck is really relaxed. You can do some shoulder shrugs and arm circles. That's always a good thing to do as well, just to think about really, really relaxing and relaxing everything down. Okay, so this first breathing exercise that we will do is just kind of to help wake up the lungs. So this is generally where I use my breathing device. Okay, so we're gonna breathe in and out slowly and evenly. Okay, so a couple of key points as you're doing this breathing exercise, and any of these breathing exercises, you want to kind of map out where your lungs are. So they go above your collarbone just slightly. They go all the way down to the bottom of your rib cage. So you can kind of feel where that bottom rib is and think, that's where my lungs are. And everything that moves, your ribs are going to move up and out. So you can even put your hands down here and feel that motion. It's okay for the shoulders to raise slightly. We just don't want to add any tension and shrug our shoulders up. You're going to feel motion all the way into the back as well. The other thing that moves is your stomach, and a lot of times you'll have teachers say to breathe into your belly, or to feel your stomach come out as you breathe in and come back in as you breathe out. And that's a really key motion. It's important to make sure that you're not manufacturing any of these motions, but that they are reliant on the air that you're taking in. Okay, so let's do another one of those slow inhales, exhales. Again, breathing device is always good for this one. I like breathing devices like this because especially if you have a more limited lung capacity, it's nice to see how well you're breathing in, and if you're kind of reaching that lung capacity or not. So especially early in the morning when you just kind of want to wake everything up, I think it's a really, really useful tool. Okay, we're going to do one more of these, and actually I want you to trace the path of the air in and out. So breathe in and out. And notice how I'm not stopping the air at any point. It's all a big circular motion. So breathe in. Okay. Before we get into the next set of breathing exercises, I should say all of these breathing exercises that I do, I usually do a set of 4, and I got them from my teacher, Adam Unsworth, who got them from his teachers, and he studied with Arnold Jacobs. So he had a pretty good set of these breathing exercises, and I do these 4 pretty much every day. We want to make sure that our tongue as we breathe in is low. So we're saying like a backwards O. Okay, that our lips are in an O shape as well. And that everything stays really relaxed. The point of contact is going to be lips to the back of the throat into the lungs. Okay, this next breath exercise that we're going to do, we're going to get our metronomes out. And we can do a 4 pattern or not, but we're going to breathe in on count 4 and out counts 1 through 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. We'll do 2 more of these. Feel free to put your hand on your stomach to feel the point of air coming in and air going out, or you can put your hands right underneath your ribs and feel those expand upwards and outwards. You could put your hand on your sternum to feel the gentle rise there. Wherever you feel like is going to be most helpful for you to connect some motion to the breath. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Good. If you ever feel a little lightheaded, go ahead and stop and just, breathe normally for a little while. We're removing a lot of air, and maybe more air than you're used to moving. So it's common to kind of feel a little lightheaded throughout all of these. Okay, last set. 1, 2, 3. Good. Our next set of breathing exercises, we're going to go faster. We're going to breathe in for 6 counts and out for 1. Sorry, backwards. We're going to breathe in for 1 count and out for 6 counts, and it'll be at a much faster pace. So I like to do this around like 130, 142. So it kind of gets to more of that allegro feel. And this feels more real. This is a breathing exercise that actually does feel more real, like how you would breathe in the middle of a phrase. So again, we want to make sure that everything's relaxed and everything's even as even as possible. You might not get as much air in this one breath, but just try and keep it relaxed and easy. If you feel like you're starting to add some tension into this, just take a break and go back to one of the slower exercises and just feel really relaxed with the breath. That's the whole goal in all of these. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. I'm going to move to the side for this next one so you can see some of the motion. That I do when I breathe in. You can kind of see that the ribs expand upward and out. You can also see just very slightly that my stomach expands as well. Again, we're not manufacturing any of this motion. Obviously, my lungs aren't in my stomach, but the diaphragm and the pelvic floor both move to open up space for the bottom of the lungs, and so that's why you feel that motion. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Take a few seconds, relax. All right, moving on to the last set of these. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, good. And if you feel like you need to stretch out in between these, do so. Okay, try not to add any excess tension before we pick up the horn. All right, these last 3 that we're gonna do, it's all even, steady in and out breaths. This goes at kind of a medium tempo, maybe 80, and you're gonna be moving a lot of air. So we're only gonna do a few of these, and don't pass out. Okay, 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, mouth in an O shape, tongue low. You should feel cold at the back of your throat. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and. And the last set of these, if you start to feel a little, sometimes my hands start to feel a little tingly, or I'll feel it like on the edge of my nose. I usually feel it by this one. Okay, 1, 2, ready, and. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of work on the mouthpiece to end these breathing exercises. Usually first thing in the morning, when I start to play, I like to go from least resistant to most resistant. Most resistant being on the horn, full on playing. And the least resistant, obviously, doing these breathing exercises. So for me, that feels like a really great introduction to the warm-up. And when you're not talking or you're not listening to someone talk, these breathing exercises don't take long, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. So it's really reasonable to try and do these every day before you start playing and really implement it into your warm-up. The next step of resistance would be breathing out into the mouthpiece, and then buzzing. And you can even go as far to breathe and buzz and play into like a buzz pipe or a lead pipe, or even taking out your main tuning slide to again increase the resistance. Maybe a burp would be a good way to do that. So try and maintain that sense of ease that you had in those breathing exercises. And you notice I'm not breathing through my corners like that. I'm dropping my jaw. And the last step that I'm going to walk you through today is going to be breathing and buzzing into the mouthpiece. So I do this without a tongue, okay? So just an air attack. And let the sound die off naturally. Don't try to hold onto anything. Don't press the air out. Just try and keep it as free and as easy like you had in the breathing exercises. Okay, so from here, like I said, this transitions really well into a warm-up routine, taking buzzing for a few minutes and then moving on to the horn. And then throughout the day, if you ever feel tense or tight and you just need to do some breathing exercises, choose one of those 4. Choose the most relaxing and most just efficient way of breathing, and just, set your horn down and do some breathing exercises, because it really is key. And I can guarantee the more consistently that you do these breathing exercises, the more you're going to find that it helps your playing, and that it's something that you can rely on as you're working through your etudes and solos and ensemble playing. But remember that everything comes back to the breath. Breathing efficiently, playing efficiently, making sure that you're not holding on to any excess tension anywhere as you're playing, which is going to come out in the sound. And just as much as you can, just flow the air through the instrument. If you have any questions about any of these breathing exercises, as I mentioned, I got mine from Adam Unsworth. He teaches horn at University of Michigan, and that's where I got my set of breathing exercises. A lot of my students use Breathing Gym, which I find to be really helpful as well. I think just any breathing exercises are good, and you should do them. But if you have any questions, my email is cns113@txstate.edu, and I'd be happy to walk you through any of these or answer any questions that you have. So happy breathing, and good luck.
Thank you for watching. Please join us shortly for the next session, Horn Fundamentals 101, with University of Tennessee, Knoxville horn professor, Dr. Katie Johnson-Webb. The 2020 Western Horn Festival is offered free to the public. If you would like to make a donation to support students facing unexpected hardship due to COVID-19, text WIU CARE to the number 41444.